Hey guys, George here, and what you see before you is um, the vessel starter file for AP191. Is East Wind, takes place on 2 December 1941, and I already did a video on my initial thoughts. I got an opponent to play it, but usually what I like to do is play it solo, and also explain to you my method of playing it. So I set what I did in this case is I set up the Russian player first. I set him up on the hill because I want to gain some extra MF skiing downhill. Keeping in mind that the restricted terrain for skiers are entrenchments and buildings. Um, they're not woods. I think you can still ski through woods. The brush that you see is actually open ground because extreme weather is in effect. And what else is happening here? So I set them up in 3 groups. So if we zoom in on the Russian setup, the T-34s come in on turn 3 on the east edge, not the west edge, as I wrote on the SSF. And they have to use platoon movement. With the Russians, what I did is I set them up in about 3 platoons. So Petrov is in charge of this platoon here. Yarmanevlov is in charge of this platoon here. And each platoon has a LMG. This fellow here, Morozov, is in charge of the OBA. Now, what's interesting to note for the OBA is, apart from the fact that they can get a red card pretty easily, if we take a look at the rat charts to see the nationality cards, I forgot to set up the module, but we can do it now. Down here, there's a little table. There we go. So Russian, 5 black, 2 red. So you have a high probability compared to all the other nationalities of getting a red card. Actually, the Japanese are pretty bad too. They're 5 black and 2 red as well. Most and Chinese as well. Jeez. Wow. I guess the folks that enjoy a lot of OBA are Germans throughout the war. The Italians are not so bad. American are pretty good, and so are the British. But the Russians catch up towards the end of the war with an 8. So, keeping in mind that this guy can possibly not have any fire mission whatsoever of 80 millimeter rocket artillery, which is always inaccurate and spreads out in 2 hexes, I gave him a squad just so he can be protected and do something useful. I could have put my best order leader here, and I didn't. There's a 9-2 somewhere. Oh, he's going through the woods. Yep, and I forgot to put the snipers. So each side has a sniper roll of 3. Okay, so we'll put the Russian sniper right in the middle of this village here. Oops. and we'll put the German sniper right beside him. And usually what happens is sometimes a sniper can take out the other sniper, so I don't see that that being that bad. So again, I have another leader here. It's a platoon, and they're pretty good leaders, 9-1, 8-1 leaders. So that's that. Now for the Germans, what I did is I divided them into 3 fire groups and the AT guns. And the AT guns, basically, they can either set up in the flanks or in between. For my original setup for my live opponent, I don't recall my setup. I just sent it to him today, and we'll see what happens. And so what are the fire groups? So we have Lieutenant Berg here, and he's in charge of mortars. And the mortars are pretty much going to be either set up here on the flank or here in the middle or towards the middle right, given that they have line of sight to a lot of tree lines. And then we got a machine gun group that is probably either going to be around here, here, or there. And then we have a reserve all the way in the back that's probably going to survive any barrage, maybe, set up in the valley here. So that's pretty much it. And I don't know where each unit will end up, but the moment a Russian unit gets close to one of these counters, we're going to roll for activation. 1 to 4, they get location 1. 5 to 8, they get location 2. And 9 to 11, they get location 3. If they roll a 12, it's a dummy counter, and the unit will have to appear somewhere else. So overall, in this scenario, we've got 8 German dummy counters, and everybody sets up concealed in concealment terrain. I tried to put everybody in concealment terrain. I don't know what this guy's doing here. B3, out in the open. Ah, he belongs here. There you go. Didn't move. I tried to put everybody in concealment terrain and see what happens. And I made a little note card just to remember some of the details. So it's 1941, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the prior video, but the breakdown number for the Germans reduces for support weapons by 2, but for the Russians it's not until 1942 let's see, for the German player there's a longer period of time that the breakdown numbers exist in extreme weather than the Russians. The Russians kind of equip themselves more readily for the winter. Speaking of this game being detailed, let's just take a look at the rules so we don't massacre the game completely. I'm pretty sure that I may have made some mistakes here and there. But hey, you know, who doesn't? Oh, there it is. So pre-April 1942 Axis. So that means that the Germans are affected by this increase in breakdown number. And pre-April 1941, it's the Russians. So the scenario takes place in December 1941. So the Russians are not affected by extreme weather with respect to their little LMGs, but the breakdown number is already 11. We don't have to worry about vehicles being bogged down. It's just that they're going to pay at least 1 movement factor plus 1 movement factor to cross a hex side. So they can pivot in their hex at the normal cost of 1 MP, but the moment they cross an hex side, will be counting by 2s as opposed to 1s, I suppose. Okay, right, and -1 DRM camo. I'm assuming that all these guys are going to be concealed, and they're going to maintain concealment until a German player reveals a unit. And usually the way I play, what the heck is going on here? The way I play is concealment is my friend, and I have to have a good shot in order to reveal a real unit to a player, or I really have to. I'm in a position where I need to strip concealment absolutely, um, and in that case I reveal a unit. So with that said, let's get the ball rolling. So I got the advanced sequence of play out, and we don't have any offboard reinforcements until turn 3. Um, so let's see. Oh, the first thing I need to do is also set up um, the 80 millimeter OBA on Vassal, and the way you do that is you go to OBA and you add module, and you put 80 mm/R for uh, Russian, and you put 5 black, 2 red, and that gives you a module. Now I can exit out, make sure I have the, yep, I got everything correct there. Okay. Should be able to see my dice rolls and everything. So going on to rally phase, and there's no offboard reinforcements, wind change. Now we're looking for a 10 or a 3 because that will change to snow or falling snow. So 7, no weather. Recombine good order half squads, attempt to recover, deploy, repair, rally, roll for shock, and wall advantage, none of that. So we can go to Russian player turn number 1. Where's my little star? Oh, we'll have to get one out of the... oh, now, with that said, I will be scrolling up and down. And those folks that are dizzy, take LSD, marijuana, or other hard drugs, this scenario or this video may not be for you. You may want to view other videos where everything is stable, and I like to believe that I'm stable, but to each his own. This video may not be for you if you get nauseous with movement of the screen frequently. That's how it happens. Okay. Russian player turn number 1, prep fire. I believe I can get the OBA right off the bat, so let's roll for that. And spotting is not a concealment loss activity. So let's roll and see if we have OBA. 5, we do have OBA. Oh boy, 5, this is going to be interesting. So we're going to put the AR down somewhere. Let's see. Oh yeah, now we got to roll for, well, we have to put the AR down first. Okay, and it has to be within our loss. And it's going to be pretty phenomenal. He is on a level 2 hex, and I think he should be able to see somewhere around, let's see, if this is a building, he should be able to see all the way down there. Now, we'll have to ultimately activate that baby once it is ready to fire off. And one thing we know for a fact is Rocket OBA is never accurate. I'm just trying to get my charts here. I got my own copy as somehow. Let's go to Rocket OBA. All right, all the way down here. Rocket OBA, place AR. Does the observer have lost to the AR hex? Huh. Let's see. Let's draw a line of sight, and we put it all the way down there, somewhere on there. And the answer is yes, you do. If known enemy units in or adjacent to the R hex are all of them unknown to the observer. In fact, they are. So extra chip jaw. Um, right? So let's draw a chip. Okay, OBA. And we draw a chip. It's black! Okay. Do I have to roll two chips or one? What do you mean by extra? Oh no, it's just one, I think. Anywho, black. Yeah, rocketry is inaccurate and consequently never gets the benefit of an accuracy DR. Error is automatic. Make direction extent of error DR is E, little e. Extent of error DR is halved if in a pre-registered hex or directed by a shipboard observer. Extent of error is always full if correction is mandatory. So full correction. Nor is an FFE subject to correction. So resolve FFE1, replace with FFE2. Okay, so let's do an accuracy DR. Direction and distance. Direction's 5 and 3. So you will take it to 1, 2, 3, to there. 1, 2, 3. And the FFE is flip and flip, FFE1. I believe it goes directly to an FFE1. It's 2 hexes. 1, 2. There is an overlay that helps you out with that. Let's see. So ultimately it lands there. I got the little overlay, and I can put it down like that. That's the area that is being affected. It's the same thing as harassing fire. So we'll have to activate and roll for each unit here to see if they're in the harassing fire. It's 80 millimeter. So with 80 millimeter, if you look at the actual table on the back of on your actual ASL charts, or the back of your pocket edition of the book, 80 millimeter can affect minefield strength, and can cause a flame. But remember, the ECs here are wet with a 3 or less, and it can cause wooden rubble as well if I get a KIA. That's what it looks like. All right. So first we'll have to determine if there are any units there. So let's focus in on that area there and see. We got this guy here, these 2 units here. So we have to roll for label them C1 and C3. So let's go for C3 first. Roll. I got a 5, so they're in Q Romeo 9, which is in this hex. And this, all right, so C3 is actually a German squad. We'll put him on the board. Concealed, but the harassing fire will not be halved by concealment. And the C1 will roll for him. Roll the 6, so he is in QX5. Now, the C group actually has to come in all together. So since this unit is here, I have to put C1 in P9 and C4 in Sierra 9. So I think this is the way I kind of programmed it, is that the units that if one group of one unit of the group appears, they all have to appear either on the first row of designated hexes, the second or the third. So they all come in as a group, as opposed to scattered units all over the place with no cohesion. So that's kind of my rule that I came up with. C4, E3, and C1 are here. And I got their so they're there. C2 is here, and C4 ends up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these counters are removed from play. They're not moved, but they are concealed for now. That's where that group lies. So we don't have to worry about what do you call them? Shell holes. Do we? Doesn't look like it. Nope, no shell holes. But we do have to worry about rubble. So we can do it any way we want, more or less. I guess we'll see if we create rubble first, and we'll go through the outer ring, the inner ring, and then the outer ring, and see what units are being affected. All right, so here's a place that can be affected. IFT 5, no. Here's another area that can be affected. 7, no. How about here? Uh, that may be rubble creation. Let's see. 80. Yep. So we got wooden rubble there. We did roll snake eyes. Yep. We got wooden rubble there. So let's get the wooden rubble counter here. Okay. Now let's do the outer ring here. 6. 6 up 2 for the squad. There's an 8 on the 16 table, which is a 1 check. 7. ELR is 3. So he broke. And rubble creation there. No. And here, that would be a 16 up 2. Great. Great. No sniper checks on OBA rules, but that's a 4. 4 on the 4 on the 16 table, and that's a key 3 result right off the bat. So boink, and we'll see who gets the K result, top to bottom, random selection, leader, half squad, full squad. So the leader and the half squad. All right. So the leader, wounds, breaks and wounds. No, It's a K3. So he actually breaks. This guy half squads. Clone. Put that unit in the Axis casualty bin. It doesn't break. It breaks. Yeah. Well, breaks and half squads. Oh, he's wounded. That's for sure. Here, wound and wound check. I'm not sure if he's broken yet. I know he's, and now we get a wound check, and he survives. Now the surviving units get a 2 check. What the heck did we roll? 3, 4. 4 on the 80 is a K3, so it's a 3 morale check for the survivors. All right, leader. 8 plus 3, 9, 10, 11. 8. He's actually a 7 at this point in time. 7 plus 3 is 10. So with a 3 check, he LRs and breaks. And break. All right, here, morale check. 6, 9. They're broken. This dude. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 3 is 7. Pinned. Okay. Now, FFE1 was resolved. Turn it to flip FFE2. That's pretty bad. That's pretty nasty. This fellow here, prep fired. We're going to keep the squad with them, although the squad did not prep fire. Cannot fire anywhere. Within normal range. Once they come within normal range of one of these counters, we check to see if the group comes in or not. Geez, that was devastating. You know, one squad broken, another squad half squatted, and the other squad broken and a wounded, good order leader, one of my best leaders on the board. Okay. So with that, let's go to movement. That was prep fire, movement. Okay, movement. Let's see how this works out. So we cross a hex side, we get 2 extra MF. So that goes to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get another 4 MF. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. Takes off the skis. Flip. 7, 8. Now we're close to this guy, and this is group C, and within normal range. So we have to roll for group C. That's 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 11. So let's roll. We rolled a 6. So 6 is in V3, in the hex that he's in. So we got to take group C and put them on board. What the heck did I roll before? I rolled for group 6 here already. So this is the second position that they would probably be in, but they're not. They already came on board. So technically speaking, group C is no longer here. This guy's out of his normal range. And the other place where they could have appeared was here. So we got to take these guys off. Anything that is marked with group C is out of the picture. put them in like that. Okay. Leader. So they cross a crest hex side. That's an extra 2. So it's 1, 2, 3. That gives me another extra 4 MF. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 4 would make it 10. 7, 8, 9. Normal range. Let's roll for AT gun Delta. Let's see where he's going to end up. 5. 5 is in QW8. So QW8 is here. Don't ask me why I put him there, but he'll pop up. Concealed. Like so. And they won't take off their skis yet. So they discovered somebody, but they're not anywhere close to him. And at 9, we'll just continue going 10. Okay. They're going to follow their fearless leader here. I do have movement, don't I? Yeah. I do have movement. And I just noticed something. I think I would probably have to... I should have probably activated them when they were in normal range of the Germans. What the heck. 2 extra MF. That's 1, 2, another 2 makes 4. So they can go a total of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're going to send another skier down the hill. And they're going to go along the FFE2. Try and capture those guys. Oh, I forgot one thing. Civilian interrogation. I didn't note it. So, echo something. Civilian interrogation. Convoys. I like convoys. Kind of reminds you of Hube's Pocket. It's a great scenario. Civilians. There it is. A wind change of 3 results in information for the attacker, who is in hostile country. A wind change DR of 4 results in information for the attacker, who is in friendly country. So I need, and that's part of wind change. So it's a 4 on the wind change that I'm looking at. Okay. And then I have an information table down there. All right, keep it there. Let's move along and see what we can do. So he'll send a squad to check out this location. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep in mind that I crossed 2 crest sites, so it's an additional 4 movement factors. I'm at 5, so put that dice there. 5, And let's roll for Group B. For this dude, let's see. Roll a 6. 6 is 91L6. Where the heck is 91L6? 91L6. Here. 91L6. So they're set up pretty far forward. That's Group Bravo. And Group Bravo is an LMG platoon. Let's bring them on board. Okay. So B3 goes with B3. And he is set up B3, 91 L6. They're down there. Sorry, got that one wrong. They're reserves. Here's B3. B3 and B2 go together. Okay, concealed. B1 goes there, concealed. B4 is here. And B2 actually I might have screwed that up here. They're down there. So let's remove all the B's. Big stack of counters there. Come out. They're not there. Whoa. Hey, two of the three fire groups of Germans are on there. I believe this guy was at 5. So you can go 6, 7, 8. 8 stops there. Okay. These guys ordinarily can go 6. They're going to cross the hex side for 1, adding 2. Ultimately, they'll add 4, so we'll be able to go 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Holy cow. They're going to follow through again, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do at least player turn 1, and then I'll continue on my own because I have other things to do today. Continue on my own, and I'll give you the after action report, and if it's okay with Ken, I'll give him the opportunity to decide whether I can do the AAR or not. All right, so here, these guys are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They come across group alpha. Let's see where they're going to show up. 9. 9 is QJ3. QJ3. QJ3 is right here. Right here, actually. Right here. That's where they're going to show up. So A4. And the whole group is going to pop up there. It's going to pop up here. Okay, so it's the last digits of the group. So we're going to put the entire group up now in their respective last digit X's. Hopefully we didn't screw anything up, but we'll see. Guys, it's busy on Saturday morning at the Yotis household. So if you hear any background noises, that's a bunch of squirrels coming up and down and squirrels and rats going up and down the stairway. Of course, I'm joking. The boys are active. All right, so we got that guy there. That's A4, A alpha 3, A alpha 3. Ooh, what the heck did I do there? That's A alpha 3 over there. A alpha 2 is there. A alpha 1 is there. Get rid of that. A alpha 5 is there. And A alpha 6 QH2. H2? Oh crap, he's there. Okay, let's conceal them. Now these are the AT guns. Let's take these counters, put them on the side. And all the fire groups should be on. So all the other alphas, except the AT guns, get off as well. So we still haven't discovered where the AT guns are exactly. But we know approximately where they are as a Russian player. Keep in mind for the we're playing with lots of counters. Keep in mind that for victory conditions, crews do not count. AVs are worth only 2 exit VP off the west edge. So getting a crew, actually getting a AFV off is the equivalent of a squad. So get those counters off. So the question is what are we going to do there? We just bumped into a real unit. So my notion is first I would strip him of concealment and then take an 8 down 2 shot with this fellow. Alright, so let's take an 8 down 2. Boink. 6 down 2 is a 4. 4 on the A table is a 2 check. So Mr. Skier has to roll 4 less. Just realized I forgot these. Oh no, there didn't mean anything. 7 plus 2 is 9. That breaks this guy. And he can take off his skis during the route phase. This fellow first fired and left 4 residuals there. Now we know where the Germans are on the board, except that the AT guns can be in any of these locations. A, B, C, D. We may have inadvertently taken off D. So D, oh, we rolled it for him already. Okay. All right, so there we got some serious thinking to do. All right. Serious is enough. So let's do the first skier here. Take his concealment counter and his skis along. That's 1 to there, 2 to there, 3, 4, and we gathered 1, 2, 3. So that's an additional 6 movement factors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 3 to go uphill. And 10. And 10 to there. That's okay, I think. And I think the leader and the whole stack and caboodle can follow, except we may be able to reveal this fellow here and try to nail them there. So this is where things become a little bit unfair, I suppose. So we'll do this. And keep in mind, they're going to be stripped of concealment. They're going to show that there's a real unit there. Okay, so 1 to there, and he did cross a hex side, so he'll fire at him there. Delete, and let's take a look at the LOS. Yep, range of 8 though, so it's a 2, 2 even shot. It's not a 2 down 2. He gets +1 for height advantage and -1 for non-assault movement. So 2 flat. Here it comes. That's nothing. So he first fired. And there is no hindrance, really. It's just a 10. So there is a 1 residual there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and actually that was 4 to get up there. 6, it would be 4 to get up there. Uh-oh. 6 plus 4 plus 5. 6 plus 5 is 11. So he can't make it. He can't make it. That was a mistake. So we can do this. A movement trail. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to there. And it would take an additional 5 movement points to get there, if I'm not mistaken. It'd be 4 and +1 for the elevation change. So he's there. Did he lose concealment? I think here he may have lost concealment. It's a free loss check, so we can check it out. Yep. Okay. Free loss check. Too late. There you go. Okay. So these boys here are going to go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And although he first fired, this guy's closer to him, so he can take a 2 even shot. We'll take a 2 even shot. 7 on the 2 is nothing. So he final fired. And, oh, the LV hindrance negates that, I believe. But there isn't any snow, and it would be at 8 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's beyond 8. So we're good. For now, it's beyond 8 because it's not snowing. So we're going to do this. We're going to do a Colonel Steinberg. Stockberg. All right, we'll do this. 1. Cannot see me because of the hex crest spine. 2. 3. It's a free loss check for concealment stripping. 4. And 5, 6 to there. Now, they're in the normal loss, so we can try and see if there's an AT gun there. All right, let's check it out. Boink. 12. This guy would be a dummy. So we're going to put this guy on the bottom of this thing. And now only one of these two can be a real unit. That was a dummy. And then this fellow here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, movement phase is over. We'll roll for defensive fire. We're rolling into 53 minutes, so 1 player turn should be okay for our first video, and the last video will be on AAR. Okay. All right, so let's go to like this and see what we can do. In terms of defensive fire, this dude can fire on these guys, and I missed that shot. All right, so let's do it. Let's unconceal. They're out in the open, so it's a straight up 7 to hit. Let's roll it. To hit 7. 9. 9. 9. I mean, how can you do that, George? These guys cannot intensive fire. So let's get an EC, and this is little a for the letter designation. Little a. But it's a big EC, it's area fire. Whoop, no, size. And we can link them like that. And then put the EC there. And call loss of concealment, so they got concealment. Oh boy, and they final fired. The reason why I positioned them like that was one mortar could cover this area, one mortar can cover this open ground. It ain't working. It ain't working. And ultimately we can resolve where the AT guns are there. I don't see any other AA fire. All right. So let's remove. Let's go to advancing fire. Advancing fire These guys have nobody in their loss. These guys have nobody in their loss. These guys do. But it's only an LMG, and the 6 to 8 would be quartered, and there's, oh, they do have assault fire. They do have assault fire. Do they? Where's the scenario card? Where's my magnifying glass? Let's see. Yeah, they do got assault fire. But assault fire is within normal range. All right. Okay. So we'll keep it real. Route phase. This fellow will, let's clean up the board. Okay, I cleaned up the board and remove all residuals. That should have been done a long time ago. The problem with this is he can route. He can route because he can go 2 to there and 2 to there. Can he route with skis on? I don't see why not. Simply can't go 2 to there. He's not going adjacent to any known or closer to any known unit. He has a +1 tem because so he can't be interdicted. 3-4 to there. Oops. Oh well. 3-4 to there. Let's focus in on that action there. Okay. Down here, these guys can certainly route out of the FFE and go 1, 2. I think here he cannot be interdicted because it would go through a +1 tem. And 3-4. And these guys can route out except for the broken unit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that unit. Boink. Remove the pin and get him the heck out of there. 1, 2, 3-4 to there. So when the FFE2 will be resolved, we're only going to be resolving for wooden rubble. And I believe 1 unit already rubbled right there. Wow. So that's my route phase. Let's go to advanced phase. Let's see where we can advance. They cannot advance into a building because they're on skis. They can take out the skis, but then they would be humbled. So we'll advance 1, 2. How come they took the skis off? Oh well. 3. Advance, advance. This guy is going to advance. Oh, it's to their advantage to advance up the hill as a group. Put them up there. For one reason or another. Ooh, he couldn't advance into that building without first taking off their skis. All right, so skis off. Okay. And they can't fire support weapons while they're on skis. So what's going to happen is these boys represent 12 firepower factors. They're going to go there. Leave that guy here. Can they take off skis during the advanced phase? Movement and route, and I think advanced phase as well. Movement, route, advanced phase, right. Okay. So, yeah. This fellow here will take off his skis so he can fire a support weapon. And these boys here, they got their inherent firepower. Who needs will advance like this? These guys will go CX. That's difficult terrain actually in the wintertime. I think I could do it. If you think otherwise, let me know in the comments below. And show, yeah. So, turn one. Turn one, and we already have some consequences. I am dying to see how this scenario will turn out, and with the system that I've developed for solo play. Would have I ultimately picked a setup like this? I don't see why not, because I do have reinforcements, and I have some units in reserve that can pop by and cover this flank. Um, so as the German player, I'm going to have to cover this flank, because over here it's pretty much covered. Here there's an FFE2 going down, but we're good to go. After the FFE2, the worst consequences that can happen is that some buildings are in rubble. This stack of this fire group has entangled the Russian player somewhat. So it all looks interesting. In the next phase, these guys are going to come down and see how they can skedaddle off the board. Yeah, so it's a very interesting scenario. I'm glad I got the opportunity to start playing it solo and with a live opponent. And I'll definitely try and get this scenario done in the course of the week and see how it pounds out. And I'll give you an after action report. With that said, I got a little blooper on the on this movie. I'm not too sure if I'm going to edit it out or not, but hey, it is what it is. Time is of the essence. And once again, it's an hour and 2 minutes. Once again, I'd like to shout out to all the subscribers, old and new. Again, the channel has grown, and I greatly appreciate it if you like and share and tell your friends about this channel. What else? Have a great month of January. Have a great week ahead. For those that celebrate Christmas on January 7th, Merry Christmas, you know. And a thing or two about Christmas in January. There are some Orthodox Christians that follow the Julian calendar. It is not a Russian versus Ukraine thing. Christmas is Christmas for everyone across the globe, whether you're celebrating it in January or December. The whole thing that we need to keep in mind is, instead of exchanging gifts and exchanging money and making it a commercial event, it's great to rejoice in the spirit of Christ and be charitable and giving throughout our lifetime. With that said, George is signing out, and have a good one. Keep rolling low.